Hi guys, today we're going to do an interview for our EPP first assignment. So today we're going to interview Dr. Shah, the Dean of Business Faculty. Let's go! Hi sir, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Kirtana from Business Faculty.
Yes.
So I'm here to do my EPP assignment.
Mm.
I have some question to ask you, sir.
Sure, I'll be happy to answer them.
Alright.
Cut.
Sir, tell me about yourself and also about your background.
Okay. How long do you have?
Hold on.
Yeah, because that's a very long question, right?
You can take your own time.
Okay.
Sir.
What specifically about myself
Your
would you want to
name,
know?
then your marital status, then your
Okay.
qualifications.
My name is Dr. Sham Abdul Razak, and obviously I'm married. I have 3 kids. Two of them are twins, just like Satish and Savesh. All three of them are still in primary school. Uh, hmm.
So about your background, like what you studied before.
Okay, I did not start out in business. I did my first degree in UM, and then, then I went on to do my MBA at UTM, and then finally, about 7 years ago, did my PhD. I was not a lecturer. I've not been a lecturer for forever. I was in KL. I was in the industry for about 15, 16 years. Mostly in advertising, and I've also had short stints in overseas, specifically in Singapore for a while, and for a short while in the Middle East. Yeah. So then I've been a lecturer now for full-time lecturer, full-time lecturer now I think for 5 years. When I was in the industry, when I was doing my PhD, I started teaching part time while working. But full time, yeah, I think about 5 years now. 3 years in Ames, about 2 years in USM. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So you know how many years you're working as a lecturer? Like 3 years, right? So
I said 5.
5 years. Like 3 years in Ames and
Okay.
2 years in UM. Is it?
USM.
USM. Okay, sir. So what makes you to work in Ames University and why? You choose
Because there's no
this?
other place to work. What to do? To be honest, I was quite happy in USM.
Okay.
But then, you see, I came from the industry, but then I was slightly old. And if you come in at that age, normally they offer you a contract rather than a full-term employment. The deal was that if I serve out my contract for 2 years, then they will then give me full-term employment. So the thing is that I don't know if you remember or you know about this, but about 3, 4 years ago, during the previous government's time, they actually withdrew a large chunk of money that was initially given to the public universities. Because as a contract staff at USM, my salary was paid by the university. Full-time staff get their salary from the government. So unfortunately, when the previous government had pulled up all this money, then the university did not have money to pay our salary. So they did not renew our contract. It's not only me, many of them had. Well, in my case, I was there for 2 years. There were some people there who had been there for 15, 16 years and so on, also had to leave because they did not renew the contract simply because they did not have money to pay us because the money was taken out, was withdrawn from the universities. So I believe now with the new government and all that, I think they put back that money there to all the public universities because I know that because I see that my previous place now they again have quite a number of contract lecturers. So then I was hunting around. Being in the north, you're quite limited in your choices. I did look around in Penang. I came to this very room, when the previous dean was sitting here. I just walked in and tried my luck actually, but then I was told there was no vacancy. And So I sadly walked away.
Mhm.
Then I was teaching at, I still do, I still teach part-time at OUM, Subrajaya. And in January 2017, out of the blue, was not expecting it. I got a call from HR here asking me to attend an interview, and since then I've been here. Lah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, sir. Can you share some working experience as a dean of the faculty?
Okay, working experience as a dean of the faculty is one of the most boring stuff that you can do. Yeah. To be honest, I was never looking to become the dean or anything like that because when I was in the industry, I was already in senior management positions. So I know that all the stress and all the challenges and whatever that comes with being in senior management. So the purpose that when I did my PhD, ultimately I wanted to get into the academic line. I had no intention to take up another administrative role. Strictly, even now, I'll tell you, anytime I would rather teach, lecture, and do my research and all that. So now that I'm the dean, it takes me away from my passion, which is actually doing research.
Mhm.
And as it is, all of us, we are all in business, which is social science. And research in social science, the, the haul is very long. It takes a very long time for you to collect the data, to process the data, and so on. As opposed to if you are in pure science or natural science, sometimes they tell me that if you do a lab experiment, it only takes 6 minutes for you to get your. After 6 minutes, you already can publish your research because your results are there in 6 minutes. You know, in our case, it's not even 6 months. Sometimes it takes. I just submitted one for publication. I was working on it for about 16 months. 16 months. Yeah. So it takes that long. And in my case, I strictly do qualitative research. So it takes even longer than normal quantitative research because a lot of you need to do a lot of things. Transcription, what you guys are doing, that in itself takes a long time. Sometimes I outsource it to some students or something like that, pay them some money for it. Because that in itself, you need to put your headphone on and 2 3 words stop pause, 2 3 words pause, you know, something like that. So to answer your question, being a dean is not unlike being in any senior management positions before, in the sense that the problem is always people problem, because people come in different shapes, different people have different mindsets, people have different perspectives, everyone has their own ego. Yeah, but I'm lucky that our team here, more or less everyone is quite okay. Yeah, and my style is that I don't normally push people or anything like that. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's not a good thing. Yeah, but my style is like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's always people problems. So in a day, people come to me, lecturers come to me, my staff comes to me, students come to me with all kinds of problems, all kinds of things to do and sort out. So it kind of like, to me, you cannot develop a rhythm in a day, because every time there is some, you call it like, it's like a rupture. Before you can actually start doing anything, somebody walks in and says, oh, this, then you need to attend to that. You see, when we did last time, like when I was in advertising and all that, we used to call this firefighting. There's a fire everywhere, so you need to padam this api, that api, and so on. So although the fire is very small, but it needs your attention. But I think I've worked in so many places. I think overall, in terms of the colleagues that I have, I think it's a good bunch, because it's easy to get along with them, and there are no, sometimes in organizations you have groups of people that are really hard-headed, very difficult to get them to work with you and all that. I don't seem to have that problem here. Everyone is okay, amenable, easy to work with. Each person has his own style, so sometimes we have to, as the leader, not only as a dean, if any other leadership position, we need to what do you call that, change our style a bit to suit that person's particular style. But then again, I know from reading and from having worked in so many other places, there is a different style of leadership where the leader doesn't change his or her style you like it or not, that's the style. So sometimes it can be good also, sometimes it's not good. It depends.
Okay, sir.
Mm.
What is your work pressure as a dean?
Work pressure actually is looking into things which are not really my problem of my doing. It's sometimes related to students, sometimes related to maybe administrative stuff, sometimes related to some other lecturers or something like that. It's just the overall operations problems. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the pressure comes from not being able to have a normal day where you can actually plan out. Okay, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. Every time you have some kind of rupture because somebody walks in and says, "Hey," like today, this morning, suddenly I get a call and says, "Oh, my staff is supposed to send something to them, but hasn't." And then now today, my staff is on leave for 3 days, so then I need to sort out who else can do it. Things like that. So sometimes, if you are in a large organization, it's probably not that bad being a leader because it's a large organization, so each section or department tends to manage itself. But here, because we are very small, only 14 of us, so everything comes to the top person. So everything comes to me. Yeah. Sometimes they settle it and then come and tell me, but still, when they tell you, you absorb it, and that absorption sometimes does cause a bit of pressure sometimes. Yeah, and I have all kinds of crazy students with all kinds of crazy problems, which I have to deal with as well. Yeah, but other than that, it's okay. But it's okay.
You're enjoying being a dean?
No, I'm not enjoying being the dean. I enjoy being able to interact with students, and I love teaching. Uh, I love to talk. And I love to do research and so on. So teaching gives me a good opportunity to do all that. I would rather not be the dean. I'll be very honest. Yeah. Didn't ask for it. I said no to it, but they still want me because I think they also don't have anybody else. So for now, I'll take it. So initially I thought, okay, it's not something bad because okay, at least on my CV, okay, you've been here, you've done that, been here, done that, and then now here you're the dean. So it looks good on your CV. It's a good experience. Because I believe this is not the last stop. You know, this is one of your questions. You saw, right? This is not the last stop. I'm always looking to move on to bigger and better things. So if sometimes I look for the opportunity, or sometimes if the opportunity comes, I wouldn't mind. So that being the dean now on paper will be helpful.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Do you have do you still going to continue in IMS University, or you have any other idea to move on to another
Okay, I will never
university?
say that I want to stay on there somewhere forever. Sometimes I'm actually quite shocked and quite surprised when I know that someone has been here for 18 years, 20 years. Yeah, many of them have been here from day one. I don't know how you do it. Because that means to me personally, they may have a different view. But to me, that tells me that your perspective has never changed. You've never been exposed to anything different. So maybe to them it's like, oh, I've been here, meaning because I'm royal and all that. Maybe they look at it that way. But to me, I don't look at it that way. So like I was just saying earlier in the previous question, I as long as I'm here, I'm here. But if I do get some other better opportunity, which puts me in a better position, takes me closer to my, whatever that my passions and so on, I'll definitely take it up. So I can't say, how long I'll be here or how long I won't be here and so on. Yeah. But I'm not going to. But definitely, it's not if it was up to me. But sometimes the boss upstairs, not this boss, the other big boss there, you know, the big boss in the clouds. So sometimes the big boss in the clouds, he or she has his own idea of what's going to happen to you, right? So if he or she says, I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be here, something like that.
Okay, sir. So, how do you manage your work as a dean and also a lecturer?
Good question. I think to me, I don't have much free time simply because as it is to commute to work, just one way it takes me about 1 hour because I live in Amstar. So that in itself, that 1 hour is basically
Daily
in a day.
travel.
Yeah. So it daily at least 2.5 hours in the car. You know. So and I am what do you call that? And in my family, because my wife is also as busy as I am. Most of the time, she's busier than I. So we need to pick up the slack. So which means that I also need to do the cooking sometimes. We take turns in preparing meals. So if I prepare breakfast, she prepares for the kids lunch, or if and in her case, every 1 week in a month she will be in KL. So it means that I am mommy and daddy for a week. So I need to settle all that. So which doesn't leave me much time. So usually every day I wake up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's the only time. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. When I was your age, I couldn't even wake up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I never went to any classes. Okay, I'll be the first one. That's why my university friends are laughing at me when they found out that I'm the dean, because I never attended any of the 8 o'clock classes because I was always asleep. Anyway, so every day, 4 o'clock, sometimes if possible 3:30, because that's the only 2 hours that I have, because I need to leave. I need to shower and start, whatever by 6. Because by 6:30 I need to be up. Otherwise, I won't be able to make it here by 8. Correct?
Yeah.
So that 2 hours, 4 to 6, is the only time that I get to read and do my research stuff. Kids are asleep, wife is asleep, so entirely quiet. And early mornings is very quiet, right?
Yeah.
So that's the time I read, and that's the time that if I'm working on any research or whatever, I need to be writing something and all that. That's the time I do it. So in a day, I have about 2 hours or so that what do you call that, gives me time. And my me time is not, I don't just watch something or browse Facebook or anything, but usually I read or something like that. Then even that sometimes it cut short because if I need to prepare breakfast and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, sir. That's
So
good.
yeah, so I go back, and then if you have a family, then your kids need to be sent for tuition classes, or maybe some Malaji classes, or whatever it is and all that. So at night usually your time is gone. By the time you come back, settle everything, it's already about 10 something. It's noisy, so so in a day only, that's how. Yeah, it's a tight day. So whatever time that I can still here to do some of my personal stuff, meaning like all the research stuff or whatever, because my teaching load is not as heavy since I'm the dean, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that bad. So whenever if I have some time, especially if I start on leave, so nobody kacau me. So I have some me time and all that. So now what I've started doing these past 3 years that I've been AIMS is that um, basically I'm spending 2 hours in the car, and that 2 hours is basically minus 2 hours of my daily time, right? So normally what I do is that I use that 2 hours. I try to use it productively. So instead of listening to music or something in the car, I usually download podcasts related to academic stuff, related to maybe any particular research that I'm doing, and so on. Mm, Audio documentaries and so on. So I put it on my car Bluetooth speaker and listen to it while I'm driving 1 hour. So I feel that at least that 2 hours is also spent in enriching myself. Very good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not a good lecturer, good dean, and also you're a good chef.
I don't know about that. Yeah. Good chef, I don't know, because they eat. So, like, I don't think they have a choice when I cook, they eat a lot. But they seem to be okay with it. So I guess, okay.
Okay, so
Mm.
tell me about how you organize your work and how you give your
Okay,
priority.
many years ago, when I'm an avid reader, I read a lot. Many years ago, uh, I went through a very difficult time. So I always tell you guys, don't worry, I'm not crying. Sometimes, see, when I was your age, slightly older than you, when I left university and all that, I was really like a shooting star. By the age of early 30s, 31, 32, I was already getting like a five-figure income, and those days that five figures was a lot of money. Even
Yeah.
today is a lot of money. I'm talking about early 2000s.
2 years back.
Uh, but like I said, sometimes the big boss, he or she has some ideas,
Plans.
few plans for you, right? So also when I was younger, I think I admit when you're young, your ego is very big.
Yeah.
You think you know everything, correct or not?
Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes, and you're just arrogant. Of course, I can say that now, but then you didn't know all that, is it? So made one or two mistakes, and since so my chart was like that, then all of a sudden like that, and you think that cannot go down anymore, it went down. Cannot go down anymore, it went down. So I basically went through like 6 7 year period. If you study astrology, you always say 7 year period. It's true. It really happened. 7 year period where things really didn't work out. So luckily, I was never like no money or whatever it is and all that. But it was actually steps. You're already there, but you're not taking any steps going up. You're actually going down and down and down. So it was really tough. Anyway, so uh, the way that I plan usually is that normally at the beginning of the week, which is like Sunday evening or what, I try to visualize the key things that I'll be doing in that week. When I was a bit more hardworking, I used to keep a personal journal, not a diary, the difference, journal where I write stuff. So normally I write out, okay, this week, these are the key things that I'll be doing. It's not like a tick, to-do list kind of thing. That never works, because to-do list won't work because you may put it down there, but somebody might come in and ask you to do something else. So you say that this week, these are the things that you need to do and so on. When you do that, I noticed that more often than not, definitely you will, go beyond the time frame that you set. Even when I do like research or whatever, if let's say okay, by April I need to complete this, I won't complete it by April, but by May I'll complete it. Something like that. It will always have that lag time. So I try to usually visualize, and I have so many journals at home. And all my journals are empty. Normally I use drawing blocks, small drawing blocks. I don't like papers with lines because it limits your human beings. We don't think in linear fashion. Do you think in linear fashion like that? You don't, right? So our mind is like, so some people say it's mind mapping, whatever it is about that. So I have all these drawing blocks and small journals, and all my journals are all empty piece of paper, so I can write, and I like to use different color and things like that. Sometimes like a girl, but yeah, so that's what my wife tells me as well. Well, that's how I do it lah. Some people are good lah. Some people they can just up, but I need to guide myself. Yeah. So like I said in the beginning lah, it all depends on the kind of person. Yeah. Some people can do things like that. I'm not that kind of person. I need to whine for some time, and then I start
Wow,
doing
same
it.
like me, sir.
Yeah. So like that. So it's like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mm.
Okay, sir. What is the key to success when you communicate with people outside?
Okay, in the first place lah, in my situation, I'm able to answer that question. I think because my line of work last time in the industry and all that, almost on a daily basis, I'm communicating with someone because I was in advertising. Every day you have to present something to somebody, and people can be really nasty, especially when they're your clients. People can be really nasty. They can say really nasty things. Sometimes you get used to it. Sometimes you don't get used to it. Now, to me, so each person, again, going back to your nature, each person has his or her own style. To me, I think the ability to be able to communicate is you have to have knowledge in the first place about many, many diverse things. That's why you guys are okay, except for practice your service, huh? Practice, right? I think you guys, you and finance, you and auditing, you and finance. You're marketing ah?
Marketing.
Oh, how come I never see you guys? Okay. So how come you guys are not in my class?
We are not taking the
Same.
the
Oh,
subject
okay.
yet,
Alright,
sir.
alright, okay.
Soon.
So that's why I always tell, especially marketing people and all that, you need to have a lot of diverse knowledge. So I may be old, but I am very much in tune with what's happening, songs that people listen to, movies that people watch, whatever things that are trending online and all that. You need to be, because you can only uh, you can only connect with someone on a level where that someone knows what you're talking about. So you need to configure your way of communicating from that person's perspective. I always believe that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go and talk about things that you know and you assume that somebody else knows, then that person is going to find you very boring. So you don't know what the hell are you talking about, right? So always I pander. So I pander to the audience style. So the audience is like this, I speak like that. Audience is like that, I speak like this. So something like that. So I think, to answer your question, empathy is the secret of success, communicating successfully. You need to be able to empathize with your audience, understand their point of view. So if students, then you need to talk to them like students. If adults, you need to talk to them like adults, kids,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, you know. So you need to position, it's the same message, but needs to be positioned in different ways, in ways by which your audience can connect with, you know. That's, I think, to me, that's that lah. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not, so like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a good one.
Yeah.
So, sir, what is the most challenging part in your life, and also
Mm.
as a faculty of the dean, dean of the
In my
faculty?
life, that's the thing that I told you. I went through a very difficult time. I don't know why it happened, but very, very difficult, and it got worse and worse and worse. So it came to a point where, you know, you have almost zero self-esteem. So when you have almost zero self-esteem, then you become a very weird person. Someone may say something and mean something else, but you think that someone is saying something to you or against you or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're very sensitive, oversensitive actually. You react over also and things like that. Then you tend to question a lot of things and all that. It was a tough time. Sometimes I still get headache thinking about it, but there's nothing I could do, no matter how I try. You know, so sometimes they say no, you know, okay, maybe you do that, do this, and all that. And when you're down, people assume that you are dumb and stupid. You know, yeah. So that part I think really got to me, because I'm not dumb, I'm not stupid, and like I was telling you guys, my general knowledge, I think, is comparable to anyone, because I read a lot. I'm an avid reader. I've been reading from school, from my childhood, you know, and up to today. So my knowledge in so many other things is quite wide. But to be told that, to be treated like you're a fool, you're dumb, just because you're down, you know. So that was the most challenging part now.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing was that I mean, I still have a very good understanding, and loving wife, and she stuck with me lah. You know, she could have, you know, but she stuck with me. I don't know why. So yeah, yeah. So yeah. So in that sense, it was not easy. It was not easy. So I think, I hope lah. I don't know. I hope it's all in the past. I hope there's no repeat of. I cannot take another 7 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
So
bit long.
because in that 7 years was that peak time when people at that my age normally, you know, really peak. So in my case, I peaked and then I went down.
Drop.
So while everybody else is going up, when everybody was like that, I was like that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and it was a very short period. And when everybody was going up like that, I was going the opposite direction. So it's quite bad lah.
Yeah, okay, that.
So sometimes, you know, what to do? So nothing I can do. Did I learn anything from it? I don't know, man. I don't
Of
know.
course, you have that experience.
Yeah, but what good is the experience?
Oh, you
You
have
know,
good experience, and also you
you
have bad
tend to question a
experience.
lot of things. You tend to question a lot of things. You even tend to question whether really there is a God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if you're in that position, you start. I mean, you start off by, you really blame yourself. And then you start looking at other people whom you think are much lesser than you but
Yeah.
are in a better position than you, or people who are not as nice and good as you, who do nasty things and yet are much better than you. So then the whole question comes to, okay, since small I've been taught like, you know life is supposed to be like this, God does this, that, and all that. So you have some existential issues, they call it, where you question everything, you know. So of course, you don't go around telling people, because then people will say, "Ah, apa lah,
Yeah.
weirdo," and all that. So I'm not going to tell you guys so. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep quiet. So that's that. Okay. So now I always believe in enhancing myself, and I believe in my line. Um, you know, enhancing myself means. So my area of research is consumer research, and even here I teach consumer behavior. Right? So when you guys, if I'm still around, when you guys take consumer behavior, you'll see that it's very heavy duty on psychology, right? It's so little on business and very much on psychology. So ever since the time that I did my PhD thesis, uh, I had to expose myself and familiarize myself with a lot of concepts and theories in psychology. Okay. And okay, I got my PhD, I'm a lecturer, I'm a dean, and I do my research and all that. I keep coming back to that. Life is weird, you know. When you're interested in something, that something comes back. Only the girls that I'm interested in never came back to me. I don't know why, you know. Yeah. Other than that, everything else, always is like, in younger days, the girls that I knew never came back. But things, that it's like a mental connection kind of thing. So, but the thing is that, look, here we at private universities, so I'm thinking like, maybe, I'm teaching business, but I have so much knowledge on these kind of things, and I have passion for it, and I would like to teach it one day, psychology. But I can't, because MQA will say that you tak ada qualification, correct? They won't take into account that, and all that. So, December last year, I signed up for a master's in psychology at USM. So now I'm a dean, I'm a lecturer, and a student. Okay, I'm a student now. Yeah, so I'm doing my master's by research at USM in psychology. Hoping that this will also open, this will take another, I don't know, 2.5 years. So I'm hoping that uh, everyone asks me, why not doctor? Why are you doing this? Even the people who allowed me to sign up will say, why are you doing this? Yeah, because they think, already PhD, what more you want? To me, it's not like I'm chasing. Some people say I'm chasing. I'm not chasing people or what. I need it because if I want to get into that, let's say one day I want to teach, uh, I won't be able to, because MQA is very strict, saying that mana you punya kelayakan, you tak ada kelayakan untuk mengajar benda ni, something like that, so I'm doing it lah. So I'm a student again now. So now, so nowadays when I wake up in the morning, I'm doing my studies for my literature review and my all these things. You guys are doing BRM, right? Are you guys doing BRM? No, macam all those stuff lah. So yeah, so I'm doing that. Hopefully, I think should be able to do it in 2.5 years time.
Hope so, sir.
Yeah.
So,
Hope so.
the next question, I think it's a very interesting question.
Mm.
Do you, in future, do you send your kids to AIMS University?
I don't know. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. I don't know. Depends. If they do well, if they can get some scholarship somewhere, okay. Then I'm relieved, because I don't have to fork out my own money and something like that. If they don't, then I don't know lah. It's going to be a very long time, because my son is only 10 now, so it's another a good 7, 8 years to go. And anything happen, knowing boys especially, I'm not too worried about the girls, because the girls usually listen to the parents, and then they got a support system because they're twins. Yeah, so I think she knows what I'm talking about. They need something like a support system, and it reinforces each other. But boys, boys are boys lah, so they go through a lot of, what kind of issues and all that. So yeah, boys, yeah. So I don't know.
We'll
If
see in the future.
too distant in the future to predict really. But I'm not ruling it out. If that happens that way, then happens that way.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Okay, sir. The last and final question.
Mm.
Okay, what is the differences between AIMS University student and also other
That's a
university
very good
students?
question. I saw that also.
Yeah.
Offhand, I don't know. Depends. Now, if it's a public university, normally students are more reserved.
Mm-hmm.
They're quite shy. Communication skills are usually quite poor. Uh, depends because I remember when I was in UM, we had a very good group. All of us were very active in student activities, all kinds of crazy things. That's why I never went to class. Yeah, you know, and so all of us are okay. But nowadays, I see that most Malaysian students lah, that they are quite not quite. They are very shy. They are reserved. They don't. You guys don't read stuff. Your knowledge on stuff is very limited. Even your learning regimen is usually just restricted to reading my slides. That's it. You know. So it depends. Depends. So here at AIMS, I guess. But okay, having said that, private university students usually, typically, they are a bit more open, a bit more vocal, a bit more confident. But at AIMS here, I see you guys are not like that. You guys are more like, yeah. You guys are more like
More reserved.
public university students. Yeah, you guys are reserved. Don't want to get active in anything, and you guys. Never ask any questions unless you are asked to ask questions like this. You don't interact with the lecturers or interact with your fellow students at a higher level and all that. So yeah, that's the difference. I don't know why it is like that. Maybe because it's the system. I don't know. Maybe it's not the system. Maybe it's the upbringing. But if you guys done OB and all that, yeah. So if you look at our culture, regardless whether it's Malay, Chinese, or Indian, and all that, being Asian culture, we are not encouraged to speak up. Okay, like in USM, I used to have students from Germany, from Switzerland, very different. They will not that they are any smarter or anything like that. It's just that they speak up. Yeah, speak up. They interact with you and so on. So yeah, I think that's the difference.
These are the difference. Okay, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for
Most welcome.
cooperating
Most welcome.
with us.
Thank you for listening to my Google stories. Yeah.
So I think we'll meet you in the next interview, sir.
What next interview?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
In future.
Okay.
Who
Good luck,
knows?
guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.